Hello, this is Dr. Young, and I'm going to go over your week 1 assignments. For your discussion, you're going to talk about, make sure to read all of your course materials for this week first, before you even try this, because you're going to need the information for both assignments. For your discussion, it talks about theft in the workplace. And I know that you'll be able to read all this, but in a nutshell, all you're doing for your discussion is applying these 4 factors into whether or not, basically how these would affect the likelihood of an employee to steal from a company. So make sure to read your course materials, and you can do research. You might find, for example, a psychological study that talks about a certain thing that, characteristic, personality trait that will predispose someone to steal. If it's based on sound research, I would highly recommend that you go to the library and look for articles first that are credible. Don't use blogs, or only use published sources. If I don't know, you might see a journal, Newsweek, Times, something that is reputable, Forbes, Bloomberg, but just don't use, a blog or one of these about.com or something like that. Don't use something that's not credible. I am very picky about references. They need to be academically sound. So make sure that you're not using just any source you looked up on the internet. For these, I want to see some credit, and I mean even if you use information from here and in this area, you still should be citing this course, and that should be in the APA information in the course. Your grading rubric looks like this. Wait a minute, why did I do that? Did I need to do that? No, I didn't, because I think I posted it already. Yeah, I did. Here it is. Here's your grading rubric. If you want to just, see what you're being graded on, this goes for every discussion through the whole class. It'll just have comments and stuff for you specifically, but this is the generic part of it. So I would take a good look at that and make sure to review it carefully. Here is an example of a substantive discussion post. And I post this because I want to make sure that students don't just post me a paragraph and, a very short paragraph that doesn't really cover the discussion questions. For example, you're probably going to have 2 nice big paragraphs. 4, because of each one of these. So anyway, just make sure that you are reviewing that. I just want to see some substantive posts. You can see here I have highlighted these in red, because here is how you format references. And then for each one, there's an in-text citations in here in the text. And that's why I did that. So just make sure that you're doing that as well. I didn't highlight this one at the top. See, I forgot one. Okay. But anyway, you get the point there. I'm going to go to your paper. You need to write a paper. Oh, by the way, discussions should always be posted directly on the board. Never attachments. There should not be attachments on the discussion board. Now, for your Dropbox assignments, they should all be written in Word, and they need to be attached, because part of the formatting grade requires you to write it in Microsoft Word. Because of margins and indents and all that stuff, it needs to be in Word. Now, I know you can read this, but I'm going to just kind of try to explain this a little bit better, or at least give you a more concise version. After you've done your discussion and you've read the course materials, you're going to kind of role play here. Well, you're going to create a survey. The purpose of your survey is to see if an applicant is a positive or negative person. So in order to do that, you need to kind of think of through, well, what characteristics, what things determine when a person is positive or negative, pessimistic or optimistic. Oh, jeez. I don't know what happened here. I just lost my... Oops. It's not the right one. Okay. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I got logged out of my class for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, here it is. So what you're going to do is ask 9 questions. And then in those 9 questions, you're going to determine whether that person's positive or negative. So, how are you going to do that? What questions would you ask to determine such a thing? That's what you have to find out. And the last question is basically, let question 10 ask whether the applicant is satisfied with the company. Then open an account at SurveyMonkey or HRSurvey.com and create your survey. Once you've completed your survey, you need to write a well-researched, convincing paper to be read by your company's head of the Human Resources Department, in which you do the following. You need to explain how you think personality, values, attitudes contribute to an employee's satisfaction. And then you need to include support from your reading and research. So everything you say here needs to be supported by something, whether it's your class information or outside research, and it needs to be cited. Even if you cite stuff within the course, you need to cite this course. Discuss why you chose to include the questions you did. This is very important. Every question that you write, I need you to explain to me in the paper why you chose it and why specifically you feel it will determine whether the applicant is positive or not. That is what I want to see elaborated on. And then you can put the survey that you created in the appendix, and I'll show you that in just a second. So, where is that paper? Here it is. Okay, well, actually, I better take you to it because you need to be able to find the path. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up to the course menu where it talks about APA format. And I'm going to take you there, and I'm going to show you this APA paper that I have. And because I want your papers to be formatted like this. Here it is. Sample APA paper. This is how your paper should look. It should have a running head, a page number at the top, page numbers, title page, abstract. Okay, I'm sorry. You might have to download that paper. There it is. No, that's not it. Alright, we're just going to do that. There we go. Here's the abstract. Here is headers, titles. Here's in-text citations. Every reference at the end of your paper should have a corresponding in-text citation within the text. I'm going to go to the end where the references are. Reference page. References should be centered, and it should have hanging indents. You can see here, a hanging indent means the first line is not indented, but the second and subsequent lines of the source are indented, and it's double spaced between every line, not just every source, but every line. And after this page, you can see there's an appendix here. For this is some kind of demographic tool, but you can put your survey here. And you can download this paper and save it on your computer if you need to reference it. So I would definitely do that. Let me go back to this because I think it, let's see. Here we go. Here's how you cite the SUO lecture, if you need to do that, because you probably will. You need to cite it if you use it. If you're using information from your course lecture, you definitely need to cite it. Okay, so that's about it. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. I do accept late work, but I don't accept any work after 7 days, and I do, the late policy is in the guidelines over here. I would take a look at that, and it's down here somewhere, I believe. Yeah, there they are, late work guidelines. You can click into that and review that, but I follow it pretty strict, so make sure that you're participating and submitting your work on time. Other than that, that's about all. If you have any, you can text me or call me or email me. I check my email once a day, usually at night. If you really want to get a hold of me quickly, the best thing for you to do is to text me with your name and class, because I'm at 4 different schools, and let me know what your question is, and I can text you back. Otherwise, I'm usually emailing late at night. That's about it. I hope you enjoy this class, and I'll be posting these every week, going over assignments. And if you have any feedback, just let me know. Because, these are always a work in progress, and usually I can add something, and it might not be the best term because I'm a little raspy, so I apologize. My voice is kind of going. And it happens to me all the time, so. But that's about it. I look forward to hearing from you in the discussion threads, and let's have a great first week. Thanks.